So, how do you know if you are ovulating properly? And what does ovulating properly even mean? Recently, one of my clients asked me how come her ovulation results, so the number in the app, was lower this time than it was last time. And does that mean she ovulated? Today, we are going to talk about what ovulation looks like when you're tracking with OPKs, when to know if it's working, if it's not working, and what to do about it. So let's dive in. Hi, everyone. I am fertility coach Sophie, and I help women who are struggling to conceive get pregnant. Today, we are talking about proper ovulation. Yes, sis, I said proper ovulation because I don't really know if there is such a thing as proper ovulation. But your ovulation apps and digital sticks and fertility technology can make you feel overwhelmed, confused, and like your body isn't really doing what it's supposed to do. We're going to talk about what proper ovulation looks like, why sticks can be misleading, and what you should be looking for. So, what does proper ovulation mean? Proper ovulation isn't just about dropping an egg. Proper ovulation is actually referring to the steps of confirming ovulation. So, proper ovulation means releasing a mature follicle, seeing a nice LH surge, progesterone rising and staying risen, and then having at least 10 DBO in your luteal phase. That's what the doctors consider proper ovulation. Girl, I had to look this up because I don't really believe that there is a proper ovulation. There are steps we want to achieve, things that we are looking for, but I wouldn't call it proper or normal. Maybe it's just the term I don't like. I don't know. But ovulation, we do want a mature follicle. We want an LH surge, a nice healthy surge to tell us the egg is going to drop. We want to confirm it with progesterone rising or a change in your BBT. And then we want to make sure our luteal phase is long enough for that egg to implant. So now that we know what proper ovulation is, let's start talking about OPKs. When I first started tracking with OPKs, girl, I was confused. It took a minute. The first thing that I want you to know is that you are at peak when the testing line is as dark or darker than the control line. You want to test in the afternoon to start. And as you see the line get darker, you're going to test multiple times a day, morning, afternoon, evening, until you learn your rhythm and your pattern. Some people peak at night, some people peak in the day. You can miss peak completely if you're not testing multiple times as you get closer. But here's the caveat. You see those period tracking apps, sis, and those numbers on the side? Do not read them. Throw them away. They are misleading. They are confusing. They are not your friend. The problem with those numbers is that when you're taking the picture, where you're taking the picture, the angle of the picture, the sunlight in the room, the cloudiness of the day, all of those things play a factor in how the stick is read by the algorithm. So unless you put it in a box and take the picture the exact same way, the numbers can be misleading and lead to more confusion. So really go by your naked eye and looking at the control line versus the testing line. Now, there's going to be some of you out there that are using the digital OPKs, and girl, that is awesome for you. Those just stressed me out. Like it went from solid to flashing. I felt like I had no lead up, whereas with the sticks, because I could see the line gradually getting darker, it made me feel a bit more in control. Where the happy face was just like, spring, go, go, go. It was too much. There was already so much going on. That was just too much. At the beginning, I mentioned what proper ovulation looks like and that there's steps to that. There are patterns. Your body has these magical patterns that can tell you the doorway is open, the egg is about to drop, and then confirm that the doorway is closed and the egg has dropped. These patterns can help you predict if you have proper ovulation. So, here are the things you're looking for. You want to see cervical mucus. That tells us that your estrogen is rising and that the doorway is about to be open. The next thing we want to see is that LH surge. So we are looking for that testing line to be just as dark or darker than the control line on the OPK. Next up, we're going to confirm that you dropped that egg by watching our BBT and looking for the rise. Now, some people may not do BBT. Some people will use fertility technology and confirm with a progesterone rise, which is something we're looking for anyways. And we want to make sure that that implantation window is long enough for that fertilized egg to come down the fallopian tubes and burrow into that lining. So we want your luteal phase to be 11 to 14 days or longer. So a fertilized egg has enough time to come down the fallopian tube and burrow into that nice, juicy lining. And the last thing we are looking for is no spotting before your next period starts. So if all of these things line up and come together beautifully, that usually means that ovulation has happened and you have enough progesterone to sustain implantation. Now, even with positive OPKs, there can still be some red flags that your ovulation isn't optimal. So here are the flags on the play. If you see multiple LH peaks, no BBT shifts, a shorter than 10-day luteal phase, spotting before your period, no cervical mucus or super watery cervical mucus, and big cycle swings from month to month. These are all flags on the play that your egg may not be releasing properly or that you may not have enough progesterone to sustain implantation. So what do we do to make sure we are ovulating properly or have proper ovulation? It just makes me giggle every time. We're going to track for 2 to 3 cycles and really see the pattern and trend. I want you to track BBT, LH, and cervical mucus. The next thing we're going to check for is that our luteal phase is 11 to 14 days long on the flip side to make sure our lining is juicy enough and our progesterone is high enough to support implantation. And if you like, you can go and get your progesterone blood work done on 7 days post-ovulation, which is a key number to making sure everything is good for implantation. Inside the Heal to Conceive system, I have a module called Restore It. And Restore It is all about bringing your ovulation back online. So first, I teach you what a healthy, strong ovulation looks like. We look at your trends and your patterns to see if they are optimal, and then we heal it to make sure it is. Ovulation isn't just about dropping an egg. It's making sure you have all of the pieces so that you can get pregnant. If you'd like to learn more about the Heal to Conceive system, the link is in the description. And remember, I want you to know you got this. You're going to bring your baby home. Understanding what your body is doing is the key to seeing your 2 pink lines. We want to heal any misalignments. We want to master our trends and patterns. And then we want to bring our baby home, sis. And I know that you got this. I know you do. And when you don't got this, I got you. Baby dust for all.